BBS. BBS. Blackberg Sugar, Bachelor's in Boxing Studies. Television! Fred Sanford of the Fistic Arts. When all is said and done, there's nothing left to say or do.
REED-BBS. BBS. I remember going to church and hearing the preacher, the reverend, speaking biblical stories of someone who was defeated and how he had to rise up. Could the brother rise up? Fight back? Could he overcome that bit of adversity? With that, I wonder if Devin Haney, the San Francisco treat, Devin the Dream Haney, I wonder if he can rise up. Can Devin Haney rise up from what has happened to him? Will the brother recover from this? Now, on the bright side, looking at things positively, in his fight, in his loss against the Rye guy, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney won more rounds. He did win more rounds in that fight. But like the Loma fight and like the Linares fight, the rounds that Dev lost, he lost rather dramatically. And particularly against the Rye guy, Ryan Garcia, scorecards weren't necessary. They were academic. Dev got his ass whooped, man. He got his ass whooped. He got beat up. Simple as. And let's try and get into the who. The who? The what, where, when, and why of it all. Starting with the 3-pound mistake. The 3-pound mistake. I think in hindsight, Dev was caught up in familiarity. He was so emotional, baby. Just like Whitney Houston. So emotional. He had a point to prove to an old interstate amateur rival. And he let the 3.2 pound mistake. So Dev let it ride. Just figured he had Ryan beat. He probably, in hindsight, fell for all of the mental health questioning tweets that Ryan was leaving. Looks like Dev may have fallen victim to that as well. He may have fallen for the banana in the tailpipe. The 3-pound mistake, man. The Floyd factor. Floyd. He's at the start. He's the Omega and the Genesis and all of that. The Alpha and Omega, he's everything. It starts and ends, and it's in the middle with Floyd as it pertains to Dev. Floyd envy. The whole undefeated business. Dev, like it or not, he's been viewed as Floyd light. He's got a Floyd-like swag. Floyd light, Floyd-like. Two different things, but the same thing. Got that Floyd-like swag. Dev first popped on the scene from Mayweather gym exposure. You can't separate Dev from Floyd in terms of how he carried himself. The blueprint he was following, even begrudgingly at times, I'm sure. And I'm sure Floyd slept quite well late Saturday night, knowing Dev was convincingly removed from the ranks of the undefeated. Because for no matter how secure he should be in all that he's accomplished in our sport of boxing, Floyd Mayweather is arguably the most insecure motherfucker on the planet. He does not like to see others succeed in areas where he succeeds. As I say, he always wants to feel like, he needs to feel like he has the biggest dick in the room. He got the biggest penis in the goddamn room. He has to have that feeling, or he's going to exit said room. That's just how he rolls. So with that, he don't like seeing guys get to 30-0 and 35-0 or 40-0 like Bud Crawford. That's why Floyd, not too long ago, suggested, hey, instead of waiting for Canelo, Bud, why don't you fight David Benavidez? He's waiting for Canelo too, trying to get Bud beat. So with that, of course, he leaked the footage of Tank beating the shit out of Dev in the Mayweather gym. Of course, he was giving Ryan pointers. Of course, even Ryan said that it was Floyd that told him to come in overweight because Dev and Bill would fall for it. So don't underestimate the Floyd factor in all of this. That's all, ever. Strategy. Ryan's his feet work ain't the best. We know this. This ain't This ain't a news flash. Ain't no bomb I'm dropping. And his feet work certainly ain't on the level of Dev's. But we never saw that. Dev never allowed feet work to be an issue, to be an asset to him. His jab didn't work. Dev tried to jab very early. The jab didn't work because Dev was too stationary. He was right there available for Ryan to uncork the left hand as Dev jabbed and or exchanged or engaged in exchanges. He's standing right there with him, so all Ryan got to do, knowing Dev can't really hurt him, not too much, is let his hands go, punch when he punches. And Ryan owned the punching exchanges severely, swiftly and severely. As early as round one, middle of round one, boom, first left hook, and throughout the fight. Every time they let their hands go right there together in close proximity, it was all Ryan. And the power of the Ride Guy proved to be far too much for Dev. We saw what we saw. But what spawned it all, Dev neglected his feet work. Sadly, trying to rely on him in a rematch after what we've witnessed now, it wouldn't work in Dev's favor now on the scorecards, not in my opinion. Because instead of a cautious tactician, Dev would come across as a gun-shy trauma victim, revisiting the scene of the crime committed against them, hoping to make it out alive. He would look like he's there to survive. Whereas had he come into the first fight with that strategy, he'd have been viewed more as a slick boxer. Now it's too late. The strategy would have been fine, dare I say appreciated, had he come with more lateral movement in the first fight, more subtlety, instead of trying to go tit for tat with Ryan, which is what he mistakenly chose to do. The lack of defense, bruh. You're supposed to be a slick black fighter. That lack of defense, subpar. And that's the worst, that's the most positive way I can describe it. Subpar as fuck as Dev's defense. For all the so-called ring smarts and the ring IQ Dev appeared to possess, getting completely undressed by Ryan, the so-called one-trick pony, you got undressed by the one-trick pony. That was alarming, bro. Ryan whooped Dev's ass with the one weapon the world knew he had. The one weapon he had, he still whooped your ass with it. Alarming. Also alarming is Dev's punch resistance. Now, he's not chinny to where he's just getting sparked out with every single shot, but it don't take many hard shots to remove this man from being acutely aware of where he is, from having his legs from up under him. Doesn't take much. I think that Dev has more ambition than he does talent. No knock on Dev's ambition. This motherfucker went to Australia, went over there, took the ass end of the purse to become undisputed. Follows that up fighting Loma. You know what I'm saying? Then he moves up and fights Regis. Like, Dev wanted all the smoke. I can't knock his hustle at all. And in an era of fighters who tweet more than they fight, Dev tweets and fights. So, in that way, it's disappointing that he lost, because he was one of the few of this recent wave of dudes at 135 and shit, 140 now, that was actually making the fights happen. Unfortunately, his talent isn't on the same level, and I've never thought it was. I've said from day one, yeah, he's a skilled, good boxer, but he's not special. There was nothing special about him. And he can't punch. And now we're learning him getting rocked by Linares, okay, that wasn't a fluke. Loma having some moments against him, that wasn't a fluke. Yeah, not gonna tell you Dev doesn't have a chin, but his punch resistance damn sure ain't no asset. It ain't a strong suit, goddammit. It ain't a strong suit. And again, another Floyd comparison, because it always comes back to Floyd. Just on a base level, when Floyd was faced with better athletes than him, which I said in my post-fight video, my Ryan Dev post-fight video, sure, Floyd had rough moments with fighters with better hand speed than him, like a Zab Judah, like a Sugar Shane Mosley. But Floyd was able to adjust, and he still whooped both of their asses. Against Ryan, Dev could not handle it, could not adjust, and the fight just got worse for him the longer it lasted. That simple. Which leads to Dollar Bill Haney, the so-called trainer. First, as a father, I can't do nothing but praise you, Bill. I'm a father, so I understand you going to bat 10 toes down to the fullest for your child. If you gotta exaggerate shit, oversell shit, overhype shit in the name of your son, I'm all for it. But those checks, people come back to cash them checks, bruh, and you was writing a lot of them with your mouth. Now, it's funny as hell seeing Bill and Floyd going back and forth. Two egos amounting to what is a pissing match. They measuring dicks. Whose dick is bigger, mine or yours? And I personally, it's humorous to me. I really don't get all the attention being paid to that. You know, what do you expect from two egomaniacs? And Bill was trying to follow the Floyd blueprint, and it blew up in his face. Floyd was hating on the success Dev was having. So Floyd is now loving seeing that it all blew up on the bigger stage. But with all that said, Dev is tough, man. Devin Haney, strip away all the bullshit. Devin Haney is a tough motherfucker. Dev took his ass whooping like a man. He kept getting up, kept trying to fight fire with fire at least. He brought a knife to a gunfight though. And in actuality, Dev has been bringing a butter knife to his gunfights. Because that proverbial knife of Dev's, it don't cut or damage or deter. Not much, if at all. Yes, Dev's punching power it's a bit better at 40. Because even Ryan acknowledged being hurt momentarily. And Dev nearly stopped Regis's old dusty ass. And that's never been done previously. So points for that. He's a stronger puncher at 140. But still, Dev can't punch, man. Barely a lick. He couldn't punch a lick at 35, so I'll say he can barely punch a lick at 40. Here or there. And the bottom line is, you're in the hurt business, bro. You're in the hurt business. Yet you rarely hurt folks. That's not good. And you don't have the strongest chin. You can't hurt motherfuckers, and it don't take just a whole lot to hurt you. Your fights almost never end with one shot. It's been like 5 or 6 years since that one gif, or GIF, however it's pronounced, of Dev knocking old boy out, dude against the ropes, and then pow, that winding right hand. That fight's like 5 or 6 years old, man. And with that, knowing Dev can't punch, that emboldens opponents. If you know the dude you're about to face probably can't and won't hurt you, you're going to feel better about your chances of winning, right? Exactly. Well, and now you've seen him get bounced off the floor in the canvas like a basketball, so dudes are going to be even more confident when they fight Dev. So he's not really talking not much of anything in terms of opponents saying he's going to take a break. There's talks that Dev has asked Dollar Bill to step back, to pull back as the trainer. It wouldn't be a bad idea. You was never a trainer to fucking begin with, bruh. But let's see what happens with Dev. I'm rooting for you, Dev. Still ain't special, but I hope this ain't the end of you, bruh. Just take your time, come back, fight the right fights, and you still got that WBC title too, bruh. REED-BBS, BBS. Black Birch Sugar, Bachelor's in Boxing Studies. Television! Fred Sanford of the Fistic Arts. When all is said and done, there's nothing left to say or do.